All right, let's take a journey into the misty hills of a fallen kingdom, because we're going to uncover its lost treasures. And look, these are not just any old artifacts. We're talking about objects of immense power, forged with both hope and hatred. Things that have waited for over 1,000 years to literally change the fate of the world.
Okay, so in the quiet lands just east of the Old Forest, you'll find a place called the Barrow-downs. Now, on the surface, it's just, rolling green hills. But beneath all that turf, it holds the tragic echoes of a civilization that completely vanished long, long ago.
And yeah, buried right along with them are these objects of just immense power. Some of them hold the memory of a lost beauty, while others, they carry a single, terrible purpose that was forged in pure desperation. So, the big question is, what exactly was sleeping in these ancient tombs?
To really get these treasures, we first have to understand the tragedy of the place they were found. Let's dive into the fall of Arnor.
You see, the Barrow-downs, or Tir Gorthod as they were known in Elvish, weren't always haunted. Believe it or not, for centuries, this was a revered and sacred place. This is where the great kings and lords of the northern Dunedain were laid to rest.
So, how did this sacred place become so dreaded? Well, it all started after the death of King Arnor, when the great kingdom of Arnor fractured into three. Then, around the year 1300 of the Third Age, the Witch King shows up and establishes his evil realm of Angmar, and he has one goal: destroy the Dunedain. He invades, he razes the great watchtower on Weathertop Amon Sul, and a few centuries after that, a terrible plague just devastates the region, wiping out most of the people of Cardolan. But this last part, this is what really sealed the deal. The Witch King didn't just leave the land empty. Oh no. He sent evil spirits, the Barrowites, to move in and corrupt the sacred resting places of his greatest enemies.
But amidst all of that darkness and death, a single object of pure beauty somehow survived. It's this fragile, beautiful memory of a life that was cut way too short.
So when Tom Bombadil rescues the hobbits, he finds this brooch. And his words here, they're unusually somber for him. You can tell he isn't just finding some random treasure. He's remembering a person.
I mean, this stunning brooch, set with these blue stones that look like butterfly wings, it belonged to the last princess of Cardolan. And get this, she was buried in the very barrow the hobbits were trapped in. Now, Tom, being the eldest, probably knew her personally, before her entire kingdom was wiped out by plague and war. So when he gives it to Goldberry, he's doing more than just passing on a gift. He's cleansing it of the White's corruption and making sure her memory doesn't just get lost to history.
And honestly, this is the perfect way to think about it. Finding this brooch, it's like discovering a perfectly pressed flower inside a dusty, tragic book. The Kingdom of Cardolan, that's the book. Its story is long over. But the brooch, that's the flower. A vibrant, physical memory of all the beauty that once existed.
All right, now let's turn our attention to the other treasures found in that hoard. We're shifting from a beautiful, personal memento to weapons forged with a grand, national purpose. The daggers of Westernesse. Now, these were not just any old daggers. They were created by the smiths of Arnor during their final, desperate centuries fighting the Witch King. See, they were the answer to an enemy that you couldn't fight with ordinary steel. The Dunedain smiths didn't just forge weapons. They wove their very will into them. This was a slow, almost ritualistic process. The smith's hatred for Angmar was literally hammered into the steel, molecule by molecule. They'd use chants and songs to wind spells around the blades, and those serpent-like runes you see, those served as a physical anchor for the magic. The enchantments became part of the metal itself. And the result of all that work, well, you get blades made of this advanced, rust-proof Numenorean steel. But way more importantly, they were specifically enchanted to do one thing: to unbind the sorcery that was holding the Nazgul's spirit form together. I mean, the magic was so potent that orcs and other evil creatures were terrified to even touch them. And get this, they stayed perfectly sharp and powerful for over 1,500 years sitting in a damp tomb. Incredible. So think about it. A weapon forged with such a specific intent for such a specific enemy just lies dormant for over a millennium. You really have to wonder, was it just waiting for its moment?
And yep, here's our answer. This is all about Merry's strike against the Witch King during the Battle of the Pelennor Fields. Believe me, it wasn't just any old stab.
Okay, so you remember the prophecy, right? That no living man could kill the Witch King. Well, here comes Merry,
a hobbit, holding this ancient blade. And it turns out to be the one weapon in all of Middle-earth specifically designed to harm this exact foe. The dagger's ancient magic literally shattered the spell that protected the Wraith, making him vulnerable for Éowyn to deliver that final mortal blow.
And in that one single, incredible moment, the blade's 1,500-year-old purpose was finally fulfilled. The magic that was forged into it all those centuries ago was completely consumed in that one act of vengeance, and the blade itself just withered away. What a perfect end to its story.
This brings us to a really fascinating comparison, because the Barrow blade is a tool of creation, of preservation, but its enemy, the Witch King, he wielded a weapon that was its perfect dark opposite. I mean, think of it this way. If the Barrow blades are the light of the Dunedain, then the Morgul knives are their absolute shadow. The Barrow blades were made to destroy the undead. The Morgul knife, it was designed to create them.
This weapon is it's so insidious. When it strikes you, a sorcerous little tip breaks off and stays inside your flesh. That shard then acts like a parasite, slowly, methodically working its way towards your heart. And if it reaches its destination, you don't just die. No, you fade. You become a lesser wraith, forever enslaved to Sauron's will. It's a weapon of pure, absolute corruption.
So let's just look at them side by side. The purpose of the Barrow blade is simple: to kill, to unbind a spirit from its evil will. The Morgul knife's purpose? To enslave, to bind a victim to a new dark will. The material? One is enchanted, rust-proof steel built to last. The other is this sorcerous, brittle metal that just dissolves when handled by someone good. I mean, they are perfect mirror opposites in every single way. And just think about that number again. 1,500 plus years. For over 15 centuries, all the hatred of Arnor's smiths, all the hope for their kingdom's salvation, just lay dormant in that blade, waiting for the one right moment in the one right hand.
So really, when you get down to it, one blade was made to preserve life and free the world. The other was made to corrupt life and bind it forever to darkness. These weapons are so much more than just tools. They represent the entire moral conflict of the war, you know? One is a testament to defiance, to hope, to the will to protect. The other is a symbol of domination, despair, and the twisted desire to possess. Because in Middle-earth, objects are never just things. They are history, they are purpose, and they are memory. The treasures of the Barrow-downs teach us something really profound about this world. Objects carry the weight of their creators. Whether it's the beautiful, fragile memory in a princess's brooch or the ancient, sleeping vengeance in a hero's blade, these things are echoes of the past, and they are actively shaping the future.